What we're going to talk about today is the benefit of being stuck. The benefits of being stuck. What does that mean? The benefit of being stuck. I'm stuck in something. I want to get out. So we can often feel stuck in our own lives. Our jobs, we ain't progressing. We ain't moving like we want to. Family, schedules, so busy, everything moving. I'm doing the same thing, the same routine over and over and over, and I'm stuck. Kids can do that to you, right? Or just a particular situation that I can't get out of. It seems like it's just in rotation, just repetitive. I'm stuck. I want to move forward. I've been praying about it, but I can't get stuck. I want to get unstuck. How do I get unstuck? How do I get out of this? Well, there's a particular benefit that comes from being stuck, and we're going to learn from a couple of people. In 1 Samuel, in the opening of 1 Samuel, we see a man by the name of Elkanah. Elkanah is he had two wives. He had Hannah, which was his primary wife. Now, this was a male-dominated society, right? He had his primary wife. But then he had another wife named Peninnah, okay? Now, Hannah, he loved Hannah very, very much. But he had to have children, so that is the thought of why he might have married Peninnah. We don't know that for sure, but it was very common at the time. And Peninnah had a lot of children, right? She blessed Elkanah with a lot of children. And so she chose to rub Hannah's face in this a little bit. Why not? She's trying to get over on her, trying to one-up her, if you will. So let's go to 1 Samuel 1, and we're going to read verses 4 through 7. And it says, whenever the day came for Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. Okay? So she had plenty. But to Hannah, he gave a double portion because he loved her. And the Lord had closed her womb. So she couldn't have children, right? So the Lord had closed her womb. Because the Lord had closed her womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. So there's a reason for it. He wanted to irritate her, to bug her. This went on year after year. Whenever Hannah went up to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her till she wept and would not eat. All right, so we see that this would bother her. This went on year after year after year because they were going to sacrifice, and they would do it for the children. She would provoke her, and Hannah would weep and grieve until she could not eat. So this was a serious, deep sorrow, a serious, deep focus that Hannah had on this. Now I want you to think about it. This was an opportunity for her to feel very stuck, right? Year after year, we're going through the same thing. Year after year, I'm dealing with this same person who lives in my house. So we're just looking at one point in time when they go sacrifice, but imagine all the time you putting my face in this. You showing me that you're better than me. And I'm weeping and I'm grieving. This was a continuous thing that was bugging Hannah. She felt very stuck. And you can imagine what she was thinking when she was crying. I can't. Why me? I've prayed. What's going on? Why is this happening to me? Woe is me. I'm hurting so bad. I'm grieving so bad. I can't do this. So here's something I want y'all to remember. And from Tony Robbins, I don't know if y'all know Tony Robbins, a motivational speaker, been around a while. He says one good thing that I really like. Where focus goes, right? Where focus goes, what's focus? What you pay attention to, what you put your energy into. Where focus goes, energy flows. Say that with me. Where focus goes, energy flows. Okay? Where focus goes, energy flows. So the more you focus on something, the more energy is applied to that something, whatever it is. It's just like gardening, right? If you're growing fruit, one thing I've learned, and I've just got into the art of gardening, one of the things I've learned, is if you have a nice melon or something growing and you have a long vine and there's a lot of other melons on there, if you want your melons to get big, you have to cut off some of the other vines so that energy can flow into that one that you want really sweet. Or else you'll have a lot of okay stuff, right? You have to cut away some of the vine because the energy is going to flow all over the place. So you got to redirect that energy, right? Those nutrients and that sunlight and all that good stuff to the fruit that you're like, okay, here's the crop. Because it's going to continue the vine to get as big as it wants. But if you don't do that, you'll have a lot of okay fruit. It'll blossom, but it won't be good. So you want that energy to flow into that fruit. All right? So where focus goes, energy flows. So we see Hannah, and we see her crying, we see her weeping, we see her grieving. Where's her energy going? Into the situation, year after year after year. But then we see something changes one particular year. Let's go to 1 Samuel 9 through 11. 1 Samuel 9 through 11. It says once, okay, once. So here's the difference. Once, when they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now Eli the priest was sitting on his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. Okay? This was not a happy, joyous weep. This was a grieving weep. And she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life. And no razor will ever be used on his head. This was a holy move. So we know that Hannah prayed this prayer. And we know what happened after. She was blessed with the son. And she took that son to Eli, and he was raised as a priest. And we know all the great things that happened from Samuel as with him being involved in David's lineage and everything with the changing of Israel to a king. We know all these things happened. But it was in God's timing. So she went to God, put a solution in place. She never engaged with Peninnah, even though she was chiding her, chastising her, provoking her, but she went to God for the solution. So she changed that energy focus onto the problem and put it into the solution. And once the solution was in place, she went forth. Now we see some other things about Hannah that are very important. We see later in the verse, if you read it, 1 and 2, you see that Elkanah says, hey, come Hannah, let's go to the priest. And she says, no, I will go when Samuel's ready, when he's done weaning. Now she's strong. She's telling him what to do, right? She got a confidence now. So we see a lot of that. But sometimes we have to take that negative and turn it into a positive. Sometimes we got to take that being stuck, right? Take that being stuck and move it to a positive solution. Because the more you focus your energy on what is stuck, you are taking good energy away from what you should focus on. So what do I mean? There are a lot of things that can be going good in your life. A lot of great things. Family's going good. Marriage going good. But if your job's kind of, you focus all your energy on that, and you bring all that home and bring the family and everything else down. Because you focused on the negative. If the marriage not going so good, you focus on, why you do this? You ain't thought about nothing that's good is happening. You focus on everything that's negative. What about the positive stuff? Oh, no energy gets to that. Well, guess what? If no energy goes to it, it's going to fail. There is nothing in life that you built that is permanent. Nothing. Nothing is permanent. Which means, y'all ever seen a brand new house go up? And it sits there because nobody buy it? What happened? It just looks empty and dusty, and it fails real quick, don't it? If a house is not lived in or maintained on some level, it seems like after a couple months, I don't care how close, I don't care if nobody else been in it. You walk in, dust everywhere, stuff don't look quite right, don't look new, don't have no shine, but ain't nobody ever been in it. How is that possible? It's not maintained. There's no energy going into it. It's just sitting there. And what sits there just fails. So you can get married to have a happy marriage, but if you don't put energy into it, it's going to start to crumble. You can have a great kid, and you ever known as kids that you can't think about your high school years. Go all the way back, all the way, right? Go back in there And think about them kids who start off and you're like, man, he was smart. And then when they graduated, they barely made it out or didn't make it out. What happened to him? Stop focusing. The energy shifted to something else. Could be girls, could be something fun, whatever. Something happened. Took his energy off of it, took her energy off of it, and now things started to crumble. That will happen everywhere in your life if you don't focus good energy in the places of your life that are good. And if you choose to focus on the negative, it will just bring you down and down and down. Because what happens when we focus on problems? Nothing. Nothing. We just focus on problems. If we don't cut off some of the negative, when we give it to God, Hannah gave it to God. She said, here, God, here you go. And she went on living. She started living. She didn't stop and keep focusing, Lord, you ain't did nothing yet. Lord, you ain't did nothing yet. Lord, you ain't did nothing yet. If she would have, she'd just be stuck. But she said, I'm stuck in this situation. But I give it to God to get unstuck. And now that I'm unstuck mentally, right? I'm still in the situation, but I'm unstuck here. I cut away all the negative stuff. Now, sometimes people can be the negative energy that you don't need in your life. Now, how does that happen? You give it to God. God got it. You're done with it. God, take it away. Here come that person. A friend. Right? What you gonna do? Now, they ain't come with no solution. They just want some information. Why they want information? So they can take it back and tell somebody else, man, I don't know what they're going to do. Well, they told me they were going. That's all they want. But what that do? That shift your mind right back to where you just got. You were just getting a little joy over the situation. It's going to be all right. Thank you, Lord. It's going to be all right. Whew, I'm good. So what you going to do? Because that's rough, man. That's messed up. I hate that for you. Dog, I can't believe you a good dude. That happened to you. No, if it happened to you, it can happen to me. Man, I sure hope you make it out. So what you gonna do? Man, you right back. I don't even know, man. I prayed about it. Yeah, that's all we can do is pray sometime and give it to God. But you know, here's what it is. All right, I'm gonna talk to you. And they leave. And you sit here, right back in the same situation. Now you grieving again. Instead of saying, yeah, I prayed about it. I'm good. Well, what you going to, man, I don't even want to talk about it no more. God got it. Let's talk about something else you want to talk. You want to talk about that, then you're going to have to move on. Because I don't gave it to God. Ain't no use in me keep talking about it over and over and over again. The same way that anger works, sadness and grief works also. And what I mean is, ever somebody did something to you, and it might have been small, and then you go and talk to this person about it, and you say, yeah, I was sitting there at the party, and I waved at her from across the room, and she gonna look at me like this. And I said, what was that? That's all that happened. Now, you don't know if she was really looking at you. She didn't see. You don't know. But it felt, okay, I ain't going to talk to you. So then when she went up to go get some hors d'oeuvres, I get up behind her just to see if she going to speak. You know what she did? She kept on moving like she don't see me. I'm standing here, bright orange. I know she saw me. And walked off. That's all that happened. But when you talk to the friend, that's what she did. But you can't have no little short conversation like that. Now what happened? You know, she always has been, ever since the first day I met her, I knew it was something wrong. It was something off about her. Ain't nothing ever been off all these years, but all of a sudden now you need some filler. Here goes, you remember that time when we was over at Royce's house, and then when she came in, she did, I do remember that. Sure did. More and more. Now you get mad and mad. You know what? She been on me like this for a long time. I just been missing it. I wish she would be at. Now you real mad. You were just a little mad. But you done focus so much energy on it, you don't got mad. Then you go and find out, oh, she just went through a divorce. She just sad. She just didn't feel like talking to nobody. She felt like if she would have talked to you, she would have bust out crying in front of the whole party because she needed somebody to talk to. Oh, I didn't know that. And you've been sitting here mad at the lady for 2 weeks. But that negative energy. Same thing with grief. The more you think about it, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this is going to work. It's so bad, and it get worse and worse, and it's pulling you. Well, where you need to focus your energy at? on the solution. So they tell you, if you are in quicksand, don't move, don't fight. It'll make you sink faster. But if you stand still, you just sink really slow. But if you don't use that time being still looking for a solution, if you're just looking at this quicksand, the only difference is you just going to die really slow. It's not going to stop. It's just going to sink slow. So you need to take that time and look for the solution. And once you look at the solution, you focus your energy on that instead of where you are. So what are we talking about here, people? We're talking about a situation where your focus is now changing, your energy goes on the solution. When your energy goes on the solution, it almost becomes fun working on the solution. If your marriage is ugly, right? It's at an ugly stage, but you start focusing on the solution. Hey, let's talk more. Let's go out more. Let's do this more. Let's connect. Let's go to counseling. Let's talk to other people. Let's do this. Let's do that. You start focusing your energy on that stuff and building it back up, it almost becomes enjoyable. You ain't focused on that y'all had problems because the solution is enjoyable. You got a job that's not quite working out. So you know what, I ain't going to sit here and just do this. I'm going to go find me another job. Get your resume together. You go out shop. You almost feel good walking in the office with your suit on, sitting down. Didn't get that one. I'm going to try again. Now you go to this job because now in your mind, it's just temporary. They giving you grief? It ain't going to be here long. I got my sights set on something else. Your energy is focused over here, looking outside of this situation. So all the negative energy they're giving you, bring it on. Oh, I'm working, whistling, doing my thing. Well, he sure is happy. Yeah, I'm happy because I ain't going to be here long. It may take a year, but I'm still enjoying it. Y'all don't know what I'm doing. I just came back from an interview on Saturday. Okay, whatever. Waiting on this job. As soon as they call, out of here. Look at all that good energy. That's what we have to look at. We have to give it to God. We got to give it to God like He the best. Because we trust Him. Now, y'all ever been to the beauty shop? Yeah. Y'all here with me? Y'all been to the beauty shop before? Been to the barber shop? You sit in the chair? You don't know the barber? You don't know the beautician? What do? You got pictures. Look, I want this. I want that. Soon as they wash your hair, you let me see it. Soon as they let me see it. Let me see it. Do a little bit, then let me see it. Do this, then let me see it. When the last time you sat there and said, just do what you want? All right. You're going to walk out there with nothing, right? You got to build up some trust before you sit in somebody's chair and say, just do it. And then they give you the mirror. I don't need no mirror, and just walk out there and everybody, oh, my, what is that? Right? Give me a mirror. Oh, you don't want to go through that. So you got to have some trust when you sit down and trust somebody with your head. Am I right? And you build up that trust over years where you just walk in there talking, sit down in the chair, and they just start working. That's trust. Well, why we don't trust God like that? Why we got to sit here and give it to Him and then think about it and think about it and think about it like we ain't never just give it to Him? Hannah gave it to Him, and He took it. And she was like, all right, I'm good. I ain't going to worry about it because it has to work in His time. He needed Samuel to come around in his perfect time, at a good time, because things were in motion. Hannah's faith was very key for this. He came out of a blessed situation and went into a blessed situation. And so many times we pray, and when people pray, they pray over distinct things: family, peace of mind, money. Those are the top three, right? Family, peace of mind, and money. And the peace of mind can be with anything. It can be with a job, it can be with a lot of different stuff. So I want you to think about what it means to be stuck. A lot of times when you say you're stuck, it's mental. It's all mental, okay? We have to be thankful to be in the opportunity to be stuck. Because it says when you're stuck, you need to do what? James 1 and 2. James 1 and 2 says what? Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. This is part of being stuck. This part of being, can't move. Why should I consider it joy? Because it gives me the opportunity to focus my energy on God and where He wants me to be. I need to channel that energy directly to him and be thankful for the process. Why is this? Well, again, I said it's mental. Being stuck is mental. So you at your job and you feel stuck in the job. Everybody ever felt that, right? We stuck. I need to get out of this job. Why is it mental? Because you work from 8 to 5. Okay? Now, what do? You look for another job. What's the hours of that job? 8 to 5, right? So you go to another job, but you don't feel stuck at this job. Well, you were working 8 to 5 over here versus 8 to 5 over here. Why'd you feel stuck over here and not over here? Because of what you were focusing on. You didn't like this. There was some negative stuff going around that made you feel stuck. It wasn't the time. It was where you focused. It was what you was thinking about. See, if this leg is stuck, I'm going to put all energy on this leg. I'm not going to think about what this leg can do to get me unstuck. Like, look, what this is, I can't. And it's all this energy's going here. I don't focus on what's working. I can use these hands to pull this leg free. I can use this leg to leverage and get this leg out. But if I only focus on this and grieve about it, I will die. I will sit here with this leg stuck. The rest of this body is not moving forward because this part is stuck. And the whole body dies. We have to make sure we're focused on the right thing. So what's a good way to channel our energy and to make sure it's right? Change how we think and what we say. I have to is a very way to make your body feel stuck. I have to wash these dishes. I have to clean up after these kids again. I got to go pick them up again. I have to go do this. I have to go to work. I have to go get gas. I have to do this stuff. Don't that make it just sound like you're stuck? Because you got to do it. You don't want to. Change I have to I get to. I get to go cook for my family. I get to wash dishes. Now you say, I don't want to do that. If you didn't have the ability to do it, if you're sitting there and you can't move, I wish I could wash dishes. I wish I could get in the car and go in there and pick up them kids. I wish I could go to that soccer game. I wish I could go out here and do this. I wish I could go pump gas. You don't want your I have to's to turn into I wish to's. You want to say, I get to. I get to go and do this for my family because I have a family to do it for. I get to go and do this because I have the ability to do it. I get to go pump gas because I got a car to put gas in. I get to go cook because I got food to prepare. So you have to change your way of thinking, your way of speaking, in order to change your focus. We cannot continue to be stuck. And then once we become unstuck, we got to give praise and honor to the one who pulled us out. Sometimes it takes so long that things just happen and we feel like, oh, that happened. Thank God. Whew, I was about to be hurting in that situation, and that's all the things we give him. We don't give him the praise of pulling us out of that situation because sometimes we feel it took a little too long and we forgot we even prayed about it. We forgot God put a solution in place. And we just move on with our life like it meant nothing. But if we go to 1 Samuel 2, 1 through 5, we see a beautiful prayer. 1 Samuel 2, 1 through 5. It says, Then Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoices in the Lord. In the Lord, my horn is lifted high. My mouth boasts over my enemies, for I delight in your deliverance. Wow. Delight in your deliverance. You brought me out of this. There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Look how much he's brought her. He brought her a lot. Do not keep talking so proudly, or let your mouth speak such arrogance. For the Lord is a God who knows, and by him deeds are weighed. Okay? So the things that you do are weighed by him. The bows of the warriors are broken, and those who stumble are armed with strength. So the ones who are on top, Stuff started to slip. But the ones who were stumbling, who trusted in God, now they got strength. She says, those who were full hired themselves out for food. So now those who had all the money, all the food, are now hiring themselves out because they need to eat. But those who are hungry no more. She who was barren has borne 7 children. So she had 6 more after Samuel. But she who has had many sons pines away. So what happened to Peninnah? All that negative energy she was giving Hannah, she's now pining away because she ain't got nothing to be up on her no more. God blessed Hannah with all these children, right? Not just Samuel, but kept producing. So now she's like, okay, Elkanah loved her, right, so much. Peninnah was trying to get a little extra, trying to just negative energy towards Hannah. Didn't put that energy towards Elkanah, right? If she would have gave it to him, maybe they would have been one big happy family. But no, now she's pining away. You see how them roles flip? So all those people who giving you negative energy over your situation, you take that situation, you give it to God. You don't sit there and wait. You keep on living, moving on in life, doing what you need to do. All of a sudden, they can't give no negative energy to you because you like, hey, I'm not accepting all that. I gave my energy to God. He got it. I'm moving through life the way I need to move. God starts blessing you, and I don't care what happened to them. Maybe it's negative, maybe it's positive, maybe God, but it ain't coming towards you. God is blessing you with something beautiful, and you have to allow it to happen. But if you continue to focus on the negative, why don't I have that? Why ain't I like that? Why ain't I? Who cares? God is saying, look at all this stuff I'm giving you. Look at the many blessings you have. Why are you worried about what they saying? Why are you worried about what the world trying to give you this negative energy on? You need to be focused on what I have you doing. And when you start to focus on that, all that negative flows away. Because you get to praise God. You get to go to church. You get to do all these things that God has blessed you with. And the thing that is ailing you becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. But as it reduces, it starts to go away. Because not only do you realize it's not as big of a problem as you thought it was, but now God is removing it from your life. Because as your energy flows to him, that positivity, that good energy, those blessings just produce and produce and produce. Because you have so much that your cup is now running over. How beautiful is that? You can't make this stuff up, people. You got to look at it in the way God wants you to see it. And if he has many blessings for you, if he is changing your focus, you have to allow him to do so. But it's hard. I know it's hard. It's hard to take your mind off that negative and focus on that positive. Because that negative is screaming, right? The smallest thing in your life requires the most attention a lot of times. I don't know how many of y'all had babies. Them babies small. They little. You can hold them in your hand. But boy, them lungs produce a lot of noise. And it's screaming, and you could be upstairs and the baby could be downstairs. You're like, I can't get away from this screaming. And it's like nails on a chest. It's you can't do nothing till that baby calms down. And a lot of us just got those types of things just hollering in our life. But there's a unique thing about a baby screaming. And the only person that produces and that has this gift is the mama. Because with all my kids, they would be screaming. And I'm like, do something about that kid. And they just like, what? Oh, you that wasn't bothering you? Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. They just sleepy. Well, make him go to sleep. Hey, he'll cry himself to sleep. How? Pray tell. How can you sit there with the baby crying, knowing that he gonna cry to sleep, and it's not bothering you? Because I know ain't nothing wrong with it. Now, when it's a different type of screen, all of it sound the same to me. But when the baby was in pain, she knew. When the baby was hungry, she knew. When the baby was sleepy, she knew. When the baby needed changing, she knew. All I heard was crying, 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 really crying, and I got to go. I need to drive around the neighborhood because I can't take this no more, right? But the same way, and it happens as they grow up, because they'll come in, mama, 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 and I'm in there doing this, mama, hey, answer the kid. He didn't call me, just drive me crazy. Huh? Oh, I didn't even hear him. Why? Because he ain't want that. Can I go? No. Why did you do that the first mama? I tuned him out. But that's the same way we need to do these problems. We tune them out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, God got that. And it's, hey you, hey you, hey you, hey you. Look at me, look at me. I'm negative. I'm a problem. Problem, you got a solution? God the solution? All right, well, know that problem. Keep on going. Keep on going. And people say, hey, what about that? What? Oh man, God got that. Keep on going. Hey, what you going to do about that? What about what? Oh, God got that. Keep on going. To them, it seems big. To you, God got it. He made it small in your life. So what you do with small stuff, just take it. It's dismiss it. Don't worry about it. God, as long as God got the solution, it's cool. So as Hannah went through her life, this is what we learned here today. As Hannah went through her life and Peninnah was coming up, hey, look at all my kids. Girl, I done prayed about that. God got it. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. And Peninnah, hey, look, let's walk by Hannah now while she out there washing. She ain't got no clothes to wash. It's just for her. Come on, babies, let's walk by. And they walk by and look at her, and she says, hey, y'all, hey, babies, how y'all doing? That was weird. She used to be crying. Why she ain't crying no more? Oh, y'all go over there and play in front of Hannah's hut. Make her cry. Why she ain't crying no more? Because God got it. And then in the end, Hannah say, he has blessed the barren with 7, and the one who had many pines away. Why are they pining? Because they looking for something. They looking for something to make negative to you, but they can't find anything. So Peninnah still wanted to chide Hannah, but she couldn't chide Hannah on Elkanah's love. She never could. Now she can't chide him on the children. And so she's looking for something. So she pining away because they feel less than because you got more than. That's a bad place to be. But they got to deal with that with God. So as people, as the world try to bring you down, you look to God and let him take that negative and put that solution together. And once you start focusing that energy on that solution, that negative just goes away.